In my last video, we took a look at the town lore of Moonwood Mill and we touched on some of its history. But because that video would have ended up being an hour, here is part 2, focusing on its residents. Hello everyone and welcome to The Sims Lore. Today, we're uncovering more werewolf lore from Moonwood Mill. If you haven't seen part 1, I will link it in the comments and description below. In the first part, I focused on the lore of the small town of Moonwood Mill and the history of the place, as well as some of the unplayable characters. So now, I'm going to focus on the playable characters and their backstory. So get your snacks ready, let me know what you're having in that snack report, and don't forget to subscribe and like this if you enjoyed it. Alright, let's get straight into the video. Moonwood Mill is an interesting little town. The trope of small town with a dark secret is well present here, and the Twilight vibes are also very strong. Having a look around, you can see the Forks Twilight-esque aesthetic from the misty and foggy dark green trees to the roads that lead to murky gas stations, convenience stores and diners. Everything seems to be a little dilapidated, including this crumbling bridge and the overall filth and trash that surrounds some of the buildings. I love all these details, however, they cannot be interacted with. We're going to focus on the families living in this misty town, and we'll first take a look at the famous Volkov family. In my last video, I spoke about how they are a hugely influential family in Moonwood Mill, so we'll start off with them. Their bio reads, Christopher Volkov has been around longer than most can remember. He founded and leads the Moonwood Collective and is eager to take in any werewolf feeling displaced or lost. Lily joined the household long ago, a lonely wanderer who had lost her closest friends to the vampires. After her came Rory, then Jacob. Though Rory's relationship with her adoptive father has soured, Jacob and Christopher's connection has flourished. Both bear the same calm yet intense soul, and everyone in Moonwood Mill knows Christopher intends for Jacob to be the heir to his pack. The household members are Christopher, Lily and Jacob, so we know Rory has left the house and is probably somewhere else. We also know that Christopher Volkov is the leader of the Moonwood Collective, where they pride themselves in controlling their fury and being a friendly and diplomatic wolf pack. They believe in befriending all Sims, including non-werewolves, and members are expected to be tactful and prudent. This matches with Christopher's family background. The other Volkov family members we know are Maria and John. Maria wrote the famous history book of Moonwood Mill that can uncover lots of hidden secrets about the town. Through Christopher's planter in buy mode, we find out that Maria was in fact his mother, and he made her the planter as she always wanted a garden for the Moonwood Mill community. His parents were big into being able to control their fury, be friendly, and find a cure for those who do not want to live out their lives as werewolves. So we know why Christopher founded the Moonwood Collective, and it gives us lots of backstory for his character. Christopher is an adult with great reputation around town. He is a genius, a perfectionist, and family-oriented. He also has the domestic trait and likes gardening, wellness, and handiness, but dislikes the color purple. He has different quirks, such as must be clean, racked with guilt, grumpy wolf, and mark of the night. Christopher also has several levels and different skills. He is level 1 in charisma, 8 in fitness, 6 in gardening, 3 in handiness, 5 in logic, 3 in parenting, and 5 in programming. Interestingly, he is a freelance programmer, however, his house doesn't have a computer or laptop, nor does he have any other electronics in his inventory. Christopher feels hurt by Rory, and they are just acquaintances, whereas with Jacob, it's a very different story. Christopher adores Jacob, and they are friends. He is good friends with Wolfgang Wilder, friends with housemate Lily, and despises Greg. Now, there is mention of his 2 children, Jacob and Rory. We know Rory is adopted, however, that's unclear with Jacob. Although in Christopher's sim stats it says he's kissed someone twice, however, no woohoo as of yet, so they're probably both adopted. So let's take a closer look at Jacob. He is a teen with a neutral reputation that is sort of souring. He does have a very good character values, as his emotional control is almost maxed out. His manners, responsibility, empathy, and conflict resolution are also pretty good. Of course, since he is Christopher's son, he'd want to keep his emotions in check. And we do know from his sim stats that he has been a very well-balanced sim as it stands. He has only gotten angry once and managed to be in a happy state 7 times. Christopher must be proud. Jacob also has 2 werewolf quirks, such as hungry like the wolf and easily excitable, and he is an A high school student. Jacob has several skill levels, 3 in cooking, 5 in fitness, 4 in guitar, and 2 in handiness. In terms of relationships, he gets on great with his household members and his sister. He has a strong bond with her and they are good friends. Like his dad, he also despises Greg. Oh, don't mind this guy by the way, I made him as a prop sim. And I also added little Sophie here to the household, I felt like they needed a dog. Next is Lily Zoo. It's explained that she was a wanderer who lost her friends to the vampires. She is an elder and has a neutral reputation. She loves the outdoors, is a foodie, is cheerful and gregarious. She likes rock climbing, fishing and handiness, and she likes the colour blue, red and green. Which incidentally, and this is pretty interesting, are Christopher and Jacob's disliked colours. Christopher hates purple, but Lily likes blue and red, which makes purple. Huh. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. She also has werewolf quirks like must be clean, anti-capitalist canine, restless animal, and survival instinct. She is at level 4 in cooking, 4 in fishing, 5 in fitness, and 3 in handiness. Lily is friends with Christopher, Jacob, and knows Rory. She also despises Greg. So let's take a closer look at the Volkov home. The description reads, nestled on the outskirts of Lake Lundvik, Christopher Volkov created a home for himself and those in need. He's made room for all who have joined him over the years, with the homey garden and shed out back, ensuring those who live here can live a self-sustainable lifestyle in peaceful solitude. Their home has 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, kitchen and living room. They also have a converted shed, which has another bedroom and bathroom. This is presumably where Lily lives, assuming the teen Jacob wouldn't put decorative plates up on the walls. Interestingly, Rory isn't part of the household. However, if we look at the opposing werewolf, the Wildfangs, there she is, shown as their leader. This pack is the opposite of the Moonwood Collective, and they welcome antisocial behaviour. They are described as being scrappy and free-spirited, who aim to become the best werewolves possible. Next up is the mysterious Greg. I tried looking for him in the unplayed households that aren't within the worlds, but to no avail. He can be found in this abandoned house, which you cannot interact with. However, when you click on inspect signs in front of said creepy abandoned house, he shows up and he's almost always pretty angry. He is an NPC, but can eventually be made playable if you ask him to move in or marry him. Or, you know, the good old-fashioned, quick way, cheats. When you do get a hold of him, you can see he is mean, a loner, glutton, and a quick learner. He has an atrocious reputation around town, and he likes pop music. Depending on which way you look at it, it might be a redeeming quality. There are several other Sims that can be moved into the world and played with, and some of them appear as NPCs throughout your game. Looking for them within the Manage Households tab, we can see they have some backstories. Let's take the Lopez household for example. This is the famous Celine, the owner of the Grimtooth bar in Moonwood Mill. She managed to get both the Moonwood Collective and the Wildfangs to come together as one and help fashion the bar, where everyone gets to hang out. But in her household bio, there's more. It says that ever since she was a little girl, Celine has been fascinated by romanticized tales of lycanthropy. However, she got more than she bargained for while on a midnight date in the woods. Thankfully, she discovered an antidote which prevented her transformation. She's more cautious now, but her position as the local barkeep gives her a front row view to the wondrous world of werewolves without the risk of injury. This made me wonder, who was she on a date with? Then I found Lou Howell. Shortly after Lou's arrival in Moonwood Mill, he tried to impress his date Celine by taunting the town's notoriously feral wolf, Greg. His poor decision led to painful consequences for both him and Celine, but while she sought a remedy, Lou figured he could just ride this one out, which didn't turn out as anticipated. Will this master of mischief learn to love his new inner wolf? or will he try and find a way out of the mess he's found himself in? So we know that while Celine managed to find a cure, Lou just accepted his fate. Obviously, that drove a wedge between them. Between these households, I also found the adoptive daughter of Christopher Volkov. Her story reads, most of Moonwood Mill knows Rory as the leader of the Wildfangs, but she first arrived as a confused young werewolf under the care of Christopher Volkov. He tried to counsel control and to nurture her like one of his garden flowers, but the two grew apart as Rory grew up. His ideals and values stifled her inner wolf until Rory chose to listen to the beast inside her and moved out to form her own pack. Nowadays, Rory may seem like she has it all figured out, but deep down she's still discovering how to be the leader she always wished Christopher could have been. In my last video, I touched on Wolfgang Wilder and how if you read more into some of the books at the library, you can find out a pretty big secret of his. His bio hints to that secret, reading, Wolfgang has lived in Moonwood Mill for decades, where he's been documenting the history of werewolves and trying to give them a brighter future. A famous author who specializes in werewolf fiction, his books have introduced the idea of the friendly neighborhood werewolf into popular culture. Because he uses a pen name, nobody realizes he himself is actually the very thing he champions. There are other households that were featured in the Werewolf Pack launch trailer, and they also have a bit of backstory if you look at their bios. I think as an overall score, this pack would get an 8 out of 10 from me. I feel like the pack has included a lot of lore for the town and for the Sims living in it as well. I like that throughout the gameplay you uncover more and more lore about the town and its residents, and it feels like a lot of thought and hours of work were poured into the stories. I think in the future I would like to see even more lore or a more interactive lore story. Something less repetitive that we would have to do in order to uncover more of the story. But you know what? This is a great start. Alright guys, there you have it, lots of info on the residents of Moonwood Mill. I hope you enjoyed this and let me know your theories in the comments below. Also, let me know what you want me to cover in my next video. I would like to thank my Soul channel members Jiggly and Krissy Pyne. Thank you both so much for your support. I would also like to thank my patrons Whitney Marion, Papa Khan, Negative Dana, Aurora Grimm, LeMay, ML, Alia Deshayas, Shelby Hill, Perlog Anwil, Amy Louise, Carolyn, Keita John the Arcane Archer, Nicole Dante, Artsy Flashback, Nathan Lim, and Asmina. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel. That's it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and let me know your theories in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more lore and updates. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!